Hello, my fellow working moms. In today's video, we're just going to have a heart to heart and we're going to make broccoli quiche. So, my name is Eddie. I am a therapist. I'm a mom. I'm in the middle of maybe what I think is a midlife crisis. And I just want to use these videos as an opportunity to share some insights and to kind of put out there, if you're feeling the same way, you're not alone. And I'm using my own journey to hopefully inspire you or motivate you or put some things in perspective. And it is only my intention to help either give you some tips, but also to just have a heart to heart, because I feel like so often I hear these things from my clients, and they think they're the only ones going through it. And as a therapist, it is never my place to disclose my own struggles. But I figured, why not use YouTube to share my own journey and to share my own struggles, and hopefully can inspire you moms out there where you're not a client, but you're going through the same thing. So just to get this out of the way, I am making a broccoli quiche where I will post the ingredients. I will post the recipe down below in the instructions. But I am making my homemade crust, and as you can see, like I'm navigating this machine that I bring out. I don't know, maybe once a month to make the homemade dough, and this is real life. I'm just showing you that this is my effort to prioritize homemaking in my life these days, because I want to share with you guys that I'm having a bit of a midlife crisis. I'm not going to lie, I'm having a midlife crisis, and I am at this place in my life where I'm 48 years old, and I have spent the last 20-25 years devoted to my identity as a therapist, right? I have devoted my my everything to my career, to my job, and I think it is this realization that I love therapy, and I feel like therapy has not loved me back. And I feel like I compare it to maybe, a wife, a stay-at-home mom who has devoted her entire life to the career of her husband or just to her kids. And then like one day your husband comes home and he says, I want a divorce and I've met someone younger and fresher and whatever. Or you've made all kinds of sacrifices to your career, your corporate job. You've missed out on like bedtime and thing and all the things, and then they tell you after 20 years that you're fired, that you're laid off, and you're in this moment of, but I gave you everything. I gave you everything, and now you're just dumping me out in the trash. And I can't say that I'm experiencing this in my therapy career, but I feel like I have given blood, sweat, and tears to the art of therapy. And I feel like it has not loved me back, between, let's just say, insurance and clients and all of the things. I've not made the money that I've ever wanted to make. I've not ever had a quote unquote easy. It's just never been easy as a therapist to hold space for people suffering. And it's a thankless job, and I think it's like very much like being a mom. It's a thankless job. You do it, you love it, but you know it comes at what cost. It comes at what cost. And so I find myself at 48 years old kind of reevaluating everything, and really not knowing what to do, where to go, what am I doing with my life, right? And so I think the last 2 years since my daughter has been born, I something has just been triggered in me. Again, I don't know if it's having a daughter. I don't know if it's being 48. I don't know. I don't know if maybe it's I'm about to be 50. I just and I guess I get emotional, kind of like, mm, what do you do when you have given of yourself to everything and you just feel empty. You just feel like a void, right? You just feel lost. And this is where I'm at right now. And so, right now, I have just kind of decided that I am trying to go inward, right? Like I have had this pull towards homemaking. I feel like I my home needs to nurture my soul. I feel like my soul has needed a soft place to land for the last 2 years. And so I have just learning the skill of homemaking. And as someone who loves learning to be a homemaker has just been this beautiful, wobbly, messed up, I don't know what I'm doing experience, but it's also allowing me to discover something in me that I don't know. I don't know what's there, but just, cooking and baking and getting my house decluttered and thinking about how I want my home to nurture me, as I approach these, I don't know, whatever this next chapter is for myself. That's where I'm at. I feel like I'm in this in between of learning homemaking and really seeing some level of nourishment in it. I'm, as you can see, I am I am taking one of my daughter's water bottles, to flatten out the dough because I don't have a rolling pin. And this is the other thing that I'm leaning into a lot more is trying to learn how to live with less stuff. I think it's trying to not whatever, like, numb myself by just going on Amazon and buying the things and just buy, oh, I need this, I need that, I need this, I need that, and possibly numbing myself and using that as a coping skill. I'm sure I will buy a rolling pin at some point, but I'm really trying to simplify. I'm really trying to work in a place where I'm trying to differentiate the things that I need versus the things that I want. The things that I need, are they useful tools, or are they things that I'm just doing to numb whatever pain may be showing up, again, by saying, oh, I need a rolling pin, or I have to have the proofing box, or I have to have the thing. It's like, no, I'm just going to work with what I got. And and again, like, trying to remember that we don't need all the stuff. We don't need all the things, right? Like this Cuisinart processor that I have, that I got that for my wedding. Like that was a wedding gift that I got 10 years ago. And as you could see, like, I have not used it in the 10 years a lot, because I, like, homemaking or cooking or baking was not really a priority for me. It was prioritizing my therapy practice. And so um I am kind of trying to bring it back old school, where I'm not saying I have to buy all the things, or get the latest trending thing, or have the latest. It's just, can I simplify long enough to hear what my intuition, or to hear what my gut is telling me, to hear what the universe, God, whatever is whispering to me. What is my purpose? What am I being called to do? And right now, again, it's homemaking. Right now, it's trying to take pride in creating a home that nurtures me, that nurtures my kids, that just creates clarity and creates space for me to really listen to what my soul is asking of me. And right now I'm in this homemaking phase, and I'm sharing that with you ladies, because if you're also at this crossroads, and you're either, I've had a lot of friends that have been laid off. I've had a lot of friends that are also, like, in this, I don't want to say midlife crisis, but we're in our 40s or our 50s, and we're in our midlife crisis. We're overwhelmed. We're doing too much. Just encouraging you to do something as simple as cooking or cleaning your house, again, has been like a game changer. I think it has just, I don't know that this is my purpose. I just know that right now it is nourishing my soul. It is giving me a sense of um, purpose. It is giving me a sense of accomplishment. It is being able to feel like I'm getting some small wins, um, because I'm making a simple meal. It's not complicated. It's not complex. There's not a million ingredients, and and it's not an excuse to not try something because it's like, oh well, I don't even know on hand. I don't have this special sauce or I don't have this special tool. It's like, no, no. Like, you can be messy and you can be simple, and it's, let's call it rustic, right? It's going back to a simpler time where, if I think about my ancestors, I think about, you know, these women in these tiny villages where there is no Amazon. There's no Amazon Prime, or there's just, you have to work with what's in your backyard. Can we get back to a simple time where you made really good food with really simple ingredients that did not take a lot of time, and really just got the job done of feeding your family and nourishing your soul so that you could, serve a higher purpose, whatever that higher purpose was. And so, um, I share, I have some, um, I have a link to some simple recipes if you're interested in getting, uh, some simple recipes that I've put together. I'll do a link in my stand store. You can check it out. But really, I just want to talk to you moms out there. If you're struggling, you're not alone. You're not alone. You're not alone. And the I don't want to call it the answer, but the simplest answer that I can give to you right now is to come inward and to focus on your home. It's to take a look around and say, does this home support me? Does it nourish me? I think, again, as moms, we spend so much time making it a a great place for our spouses, our partners, our kids, and we never really think about whether it's nourishing us, right? I will say to you that having the toys and all of the big things, it like is overstimulating for me. It's overwhelming, and I but I thought I had to keep it because, like, it's great for the kids development, or it's about them, and we have to just make the sacrifices, and I'm like, no, no. Like, there needs to be room for me. There needs to be room for my purpose. There needs to be room for my soul. There needs to be room for me. And so I'm looking around my house and I'm saying, we don't need all of these things, right? We don't need these things, these toys, these these just gadgets. Like, we don't need all of these things. And I would want to argue that having all of the things has probably not been good for my kids either. I think that they're overwhelmed. Like, I put all of the, I don't want to say all, but a lot of the kid stuff in the basement, and they don't want to hang out in the basement because I think they're overwhelmed by all the stuff that is down there. So at some point, I will go down in the basement and just tackle some things and put them in a Tupperware bin and see if they even want it. But really, it is about just saying, where can we make space for us moms? Where can we make space for us to question what we've been doing, to the hamster wheel? Like, is it really what we want? And if you get to a place where you're saying, I don't think this is what I want anymore, how do you then take the leap, or how do you then make the decision to get off the hamster wheel? Now, I will say to you that my husband is the primary breadwinner, and I have the luxury of being able to ask these questions, right? And so I'm saying this fully transparently, that I get to ask myself these questions because my husband is the primary breadwinner, but I will also say that we are not financially where I think I don't even want to say where we should be, where I'd like us to be, right? Where we don't have debts or our house is paid off or our cars are paid off. Our cars are paid off, but but the reality is that we have to pay for daycare, and we have to pay for car insurance, and we have to pay a mortgage, and those things require us to work, right? But we work in a way that, and we're not paycheck to paycheck, but we work in a way where we can pay our bills, and I have the luxury of my husband being able to say, you know what, take maybe a year to figure out what you want to do, to figure out what you're being called to, right? And part of the question becomes how do you get to a place where you can get off the hamster wheel financially? How do you get to a place where you can slow down long enough to make space for maybe a truer calling, or something that gives you greater satisfaction or greater fulfillment? And I am in a place where I can slow down a little bit. I mean, I'm reducing, like my hours, the number of clients that I have, and in part that is by necessity because I have a child in kindergarten now, and his school has half days, and there's spring breaks, and there's winter breaks, and so I can't work at the level that I was. And sure, could I pay for aftercare or for a nanny? But that then comes at a cost. That means that I would then have to work more to pay for the nanny. Like it's just a quote unquote vicious cycle. And so it's about trying to learn how to live with less. It's trying to learn how to reduce our wants and our quote unquote our needs so that I don't have to work so much. I would love for my husband to pursue a hobby or pursue a career change if that's what he wants. I would love for that for us. But that has to start with our home. It has to start with making our home a place of nourishment, a place of just serenity, a place of calm, a place where you're not overwhelmed by stuff or you're not overstimulated. And so I feel like yes, I am all over the place. And thank you for being with me if you're still here with me at this stage of the game, because apparently they say if you don't get someone in the first 3 seconds, your videos are it's just like a moot point. It's just a waste, I guess. But I guess I don't do it. I guess would it be great to be monetized? Sure, but I don't do it to get monetized. I guess this is just my open diary or my open um, journal to myself and to another mom that needs to hear this. Um, that you're not alone. But I guess the moral of the story is I want you to start to focus on your home. I want you to declutter. I want you to stop numbing yourself with stuff. I want you to stop numbing yourself, or making excuses for I can't pursue these goals or I can't pursue these passions because I don't have the thing. I don't have the education. I don't have the intelligence. I don't have this material thing. I can't make a meal because I don't know how to cook. I don't like uh, stop. 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 If anything, go back to thinking about our ancestors. Go back to the pioneer women who had to put everything, as they went out west and had to put all of their belongings in a wagon, right? There was no timer. They didn't have the special knife. They didn't have the special wand. It was just like they just worked with what they had. You want to make bread? It's four simple ingredients: flour, water, salt, time, right? Like it's just, and if you have sourdough, like even better. Which you can make with just flour and water, right? Like let's just stop the madness that we have to have all of the things in order to be in a place to quote unquote cook, or to be able to pursue um, a career change or pursue a different avenue. You know, I shared that I have this quote unquote recipe book that is on my stand store. Like, I could easily say, who am I to put out a quote unquote recipe book? Like, I've got no training, I've got no education, I've got no and it feels like an insult to those people who have, gotten the years of training and all of all of the things, and spent, years honing their craft. It feels like an insult for me to then be saying, oh, I've got a $7 ebook in my stand store and pick it up. But I'm in the game too. I'm allowed to be in the game, right? I'm allowed to be in the game. The reality is that no one may buy it, but someone may. And and I'm putting myself out there to try something, to help other people. That is my only intention in life, is to just try to be of service to someone else. And so, you know, pick it up, grab it if you want, grab it if you don't, but I don't want you to feel like you can't pursue a thing because you're not ready enough, or you don't have the education, or you don't have the special tool or the special app. I'm recording these videos on my iPhone. I don't have the special camera. I started recording videos with my headset, right? Like, I have $20 headsets, which I guess the sound is crappy, maybe, but I just recently invested in a $15 microphone that I am now recording these videos on, and we'll see, right? But I don't have all of the gadgets and all of the tools, because I don't want it to stop me from being of service to others. You know, pursuing a potential passion, pursuing an avenue that may give me greater fulfillment, that may help me take a break from maybe therapy, and help me come back to the love of therapy, come back to a love of um, you know, I don't know, come back to a love of something. So I'm saying this to say, don't let your newness in something stop you from pursuing something that we don't know may be fulfilling for our soul, may be the thing that we need in this moment, at this crossroads, right? Just try something new. But outside of all of that, just start to get your home in order. Start to figure out how to live with less stuff. Figure out how to clear your environment in a way that you can hear the little tiny voice that is saying that we want something different. We want something different. I've been hearing that voice of, we want something different. And I still don't know what that is. Honestly, truly, I still do not know what that is. And I have stopped trying to figure it out. I don't know, in the last 6 months, I've stopped trying to figure it out. And I'm just waiting, I guess. I'm just waiting for the universe to give me more guidance, or more clarity, or more direction as to what I'm supposed to be doing. And while I wait, I cook, and I bake, and I clean, and I take these small steps towards my soul being able to, like, exhale. You ever notice how, like, when you take a really good deep exhale, just, I don't know, all is right with the world? Doesn't solve everything, but all is right with the world. And so yeah, I'm just sharing my struggle. This is my rant. I just I want to support you as you navigate maybe your own crossroads or your own midlife crisis. And here's my little guy, right? I would say that this was the beginning of the end for me of whatever my current
Oh,
or whatever my
hi.
past version self was to now my current version self. And there's my quiche. And there's my quiche. And this is,
Oh, oh.
I don't do it just for him. I do it for myself. And that's how I want to leave you is don't forget yourself in all of this. Thank you for staying and being a part of my journey. Like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.